Bitty Schram's character, Sharona Fleming, was one of the most important characters in Monk, yet she exited the series in Season 3. Sharona was a nurse and the first personal assistant to Adrian Monk, Tony Shalhoub. While Monk was Sharona's employer, she genuinely cared for him, and was fully aware of all his phobias and his eccentricities. At the same time, Sharona was unafraid to speak bluntly to Monk and refused to infantilize him despite the many things that make him uncomfortable. Sharona was often a highlight of Monk's best episodes because of her dynamic with the titular detective. She was also a single mother raising a son, Benji, Kane Richot. Monk even became a father figure for Benji, including an episode where he tells Benji that he did not need to be his father to believe or to be proud of him. With Sharona being a fixture of the procedural series, and her son being important as well, her sudden departure in Season 3 was surprising, and is a harsh reality of rewatching Monk. Bitty Schram left Monk reportedly due to a contract dispute. 2 other stars reportedly wanted their contract renegotiated as well. A dispute over renegotiating contracts reportedly led to Schram's abrupt departure from Monk, via Today. According to this report, Schram was not the only Monk cast member looking to renegotiate her contract at that time. Ted Levine, who played Captain Leland Stottlemyre, and Jason Gray Stanford, who played Lieutenant Randy Disher, were also looking to change their contracts in 2004 when Season 3 was still in full swing. Schram, Levine, and Gray Stanford had all been series regulars up to that point. The renegotiations presumably went in a favorable direction for Levine and Gray Stanford as they continued to be series regulars in Season 3 and throughout the rest of Monk's ensuing seasons, as Stottlemyre and Randy continued to work closely with Monk on many of his cases. Schram, on the other hand, did not have her contract extended, despite her central importance to Monk and to the series itself. This was a significant shift that both the characters and viewers needed to navigate, with the contract dispute only being the reason that Schram reportedly left the series. The official reason was the show deciding to go in a new creative direction. At the time, a USA Network spokesperson shared that Monk has decided to go in a different creative direction with some of its characters. Bitty will not continue with the cast and we thank her for her notable contributions and wish her the very best. Those contributions included a Golden Globe-nominated performance in 2004. Schram's management firm, Untitled Entertainment, had a similar message to that of USA Network. Their statement was that Bitty Schram and USA Network have amicably decided to go their own separate ways. She wishes everyone connected with the show continued success and looks forward to pursuing the various opportunities before her. Schram starred in several movies and series after leaving Monk, including an episode of Kitchen Confidential, but none of those roles were as acclaimed as her Sharona performance. After Schram's exit, Trailer Howard joined the series to play Monk's new personal assistant, Natalie Teeger. Natalie was also a single mother and her daughter, Julie Emmy Clark, developed a nice relationship with Monk just as Sharona's son Benji did. However, Natalie's personality and her approach to working with Monk were noticeably different. Natalie was far more patient with Monk than Sharona ever was with him, although she was not afraid to speak up when she thought Monk had gone too far or if he was being unfair. Even the way Natalie and Sharona addressed Monk highlighted the stark differences in their attitudes towards their employer. Sharona always called him Adrian while Natalie always called him Mr. Monk, a sign of deference that Sharona never showed him. It was important that Natalie be distinct from Sharona so she did not feel like a pale imitation of her and was instead a completely different character who had her own approach to working with Monk. This decision saved Monk and contributed to the show continuing to be successful all the way to the end of Season 8. Bitty Schram returned as Sharona for an episode of Monk Season 8. She met Natalie in this episode. Season 8, Episode 10, Mr. Monk and Sharona saw Schram briefly returning to the series and meeting Natalie. As Shalhoub explained while speaking with Entertainment Weekly, we couldn't think of a better way to help wrap up the series than with the return of Bitty's character. Bringing some closure to Sharona is long overdue. Since Season 8 was the final season of the procedural series, it was the last opportunity to bring Sharona back.